To start, let's open up the asset editor and double check that our render settings are set to the GPU engine and that we're rendering on interactive mode. And turn on the denoise toggle, which enables the denoiser render element. Once again, let's switch the engine over to the NVIDIA AI denoiser so that we can get the fastest possible preview. Okay, and next let's make some adjustments to the render output settings. First, I'll switch on the safe frame mode. This will toggle on a visual frame overlay in the viewport if there is a difference in aspect ratio between the viewport and the output image size. I'm also going to switch the aspect ratio mode to custom. In V-Ray Next, instead of being permanently locked to a specific aspect ratio, you can click here on this chain icon to unlock the image width and height and input custom values for each. This allows us to experiment with the image size without needing to know the aspect ratio in advance. Thanks to the combined power of GPU rendering and the new AI denoiser, the IPR interactivity is more responsive than ever. To demonstrate just how quickly we can work on our scene on GPU, I'll switch to a couple other perspectives that I have set up here, just so you can get a feel for how fast the interactive preview is in V-Ray Next. For example, we can take a look at the side of the house over here on the left, or we can switch to a close-up perspective of these outdoor lawn chairs, and switch to another angle from the right side of the house again. Notice how fast the preview updates, which makes it easy to make decisions and adjustments to our scene much more quickly. Okay, now let's return to our original scene. Next, I'm going to open up the asset editor once more, and let's go to the Lights tab and take a look at our lighting setup here, and see how we can explore a variety of different options in just a few clicks. First, let's disable the sunlight here. Then, I'll enable the V-Ray dome light. Notice how we now have some clouds appearing in the sky thanks to the dome light's HDRI, which I had set up in advance for this scene. I'm also going to enable the V-Ray sphere light setup here, which will turn on some lights inside the house. Now, let's click the dome light drop-down arrow and select the bitmap texture. Alright, you'll see that we have an HDRI loaded in here. Let's drop down the texture placement menu and make some adjustments to the horizontal rotation. Let's try 90 degrees. You'll see that the HDRI texture rotates in the interactive preview and gives us very fast feedback, making it incredibly simple to try out different positions for the clouds and lighting without any hassle. Now you've seen just how quickly you can preview different lighting results using the power of V-Ray GPU. Okay, I'm going to stick with the rotation at -20. Now, back in the Settings tab, let's explore adding some volumetric effects to our scene. In V-Ray Next, you can now take advantage of V-Ray's powerful environment fog on the GPU, so that you can render incredibly realistic lighting conditions at faster speeds than ever before. Let's switch the type over to environment fog, which can give us added realism and additional control parameters. Right away, you'll see that the effect is much more pronounced, creating a realistic sense of mist in our scene. I'm going to make some adjustments here to the height and distance parameters, just so you can get a feel for how this effect can change the atmosphere. For example, if I increase the distance, the effect becomes softer and more subtle. I can also change the color, which affects how the fog appears when it is illuminated by light sources. Let's add a light hint of blue here to make the image a bit cooler. Okay, I'm liking how that looks, so let's close the flyout menu. Next, I'm going to click on the lens icon here to open up the V-Ray lens effects. In V-Ray Next, the lens effects have been redesigned to simplify the interface and make it easier to quickly add powerful camera lens effects like bloom and glare to your renders. Simply clicking on this checkbox will enable the effect. It's a bit subtle right now, so let's increase some of the settings to give you a better idea of how these work. If I increase the intensity and then the size here, you can see that the lights coming from inside the house are starting to glow and blend outwards beyond the edges of the walls around them. Below here, there are also some other options like adjusting the number of visible blades from the lights that you can experiment with in your own scenes as well. You'll also notice that there are modes to affect only the final rendered image or generate a separate render element as well. You can find the lens effects by switching over to the glare render element. Alright, now let's close the lens effects. Okay, I'm happy with how this is turning out, so let's prepare to do a production render. I'm going to turn off the interactive mode and then switch off the progressive option as well so that we can take advantage of bucket rendering on GPU. This is a new feature in V-Ray Next that can improve your swarm rendering performance by providing better render node utilization. It can also be helpful for cutting down on network traffic and slightly decreasing memory usage. Now that you've seen how it works, to save us some time, I'm going to pull up a completed bucket render on GPU that I already saved from earlier. And there you go. Now you've seen how you can use the power of V-Ray Next's GPU render engine to get blazing fast render previews and stunning production results right out of the box.